All right, so by popular demand, you guys have requested I review Dollywood's food. In front of us, we have some of the food from the Festival of Nations at Dollywood. And to be honest, I'm really excited to try some of this food. Usually when theme parks do like international festivals of food, it tends to be kind of lame in my opinion. The food is kind of like very misleading and it doesn't reflect the nations that they're filming in. But from what I'm looking at and the way they're cooking it, this looks really impressive and I can't wait to try it. So again, if you're heading to Dollywood, check out their Passport to Food for Festival of Nations. You got food from none other than my home country, Canada. You have food from Cuba, Ecuador, Germany, Italy, South Africa, South Korea, Spain, Trinidad, and USA. And in front of me, we have some nachos from South Korea, I believe, poutine from Canada. We have a rice mix from, what is it?
Paella.
Paella?
Paella.
Paella?
From Spain.
Paella from Spain. We have the classic corn dog and twister. This is not from one of the food options. And then we have your classic, very world famous cinnamon bread. So this is not all for me, by the way. I just lost 55 pounds and if I eat all this food, I will put it all back on right away. So my team is behind the camera is gonna have this too, but we're gonna review it slowly. I have Alex, his home park's Carowinds, and he's been here hanging out with us all day. We've got some really special VIP treatment from Dollywood today that was super awesome. To be honest, this has been one of my favorite experiences at a theme park, period. Absolutely love Dollywood. I'm gonna make a separate video on that because this park has blown me away, but why am I still talking about Dollywood? We need to talk about the food right in front of us. It's getting cold. My team's hungry. We've been here all day. We haven't eaten it yet. So again, we have the corn dog. There's so much food. Okay, so this is poutine. I'm gonna talk about this when we get to this because I'm pretty impressed with the poutine. This looks like something you would get back in Canada. And then obviously the icing sugar for the cinnamon bread, I believe. So again, you guys asked us questions. We're gonna get to the questions in a bit. We're gonna try this all now. I'm gonna get a camera. Okay. So this has spicy chorizo, shrimp, and rice, and then I'm guessing some sort of sauce from Spain. I am no food expert, by the way, so you're not gonna get an expert review of food. You're gonna get just an honest review from a previous overweight guy. I'm probably still a little overweight, but let's try this. You guys should be really jealous you're not eating this right now. Oh. I know you're really hungry.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's really good. It's got a really kick. I hate spicy food. They're like so mad at me behind the camera right now. If you can see their face. Yeah, it's really good. That is like not something I would expect from a theme park. I can't even look at you guys right now. What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, it's definitely very different from what a lot of the theme parks do for international food. It's definitely, yeah, very different.
I'm really impressed. That makes me excited for some of these other options. Okay, we're gonna go American. We're gonna go American here. So I'm assuming this is just your classic like hot dog stick. What do you guys call it in the States?
A corn dog.
A corn dog. I think that's what we call it back in Canada too. All my Canadian people are laughing at me right now.
You should probably mention that you don't typically cut a corn dog, but you know.
Well, you know, I'm not gonna take a bite out of this and then pass it to you. So what do you think of Dollywood so far, Alex?
Definitely one of my favorite parks. I'm blessed to have Carowinds at my home park, but the theming at this park is on a whole other level.
Right. There's another little pogo there. My team's telling me to hurry up.
All
right, so we're gonna start answering some questions.
Alright, so first question, Have you written lightning rod yet? I just got this person. Use it.
Yo. There's like spices in the hot dog. I've never had a hot dog that tasted good, okay? No offense, I'm not a fan of hot dogs. That's a very American food. I know, like, insult to Americans whatsoever, just hot dogs have never been my favorite thing. But this hot dog has flavor.
That's a good dog.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so now we will start answering some questions before we start dipping into our previous stuff. I'm like sending them food over so they can eat while they're asking me questions. I'm gonna try one of their fries though. I'm gonna try a small one. Okay, what?
All right. Alright, so first question, have you written lightning rod yet?
No. I'm a little scared of lightning rod. I don't think I'm gonna try it. I'm kidding. Yes, we wrote it and it was epic, and you guys are gonna see our on-ride photo for lightning rod, and it is absolutely hilarious. I look like I'm not enjoying the ride whatsoever. My friend was telling me to put our hands up, and look, he didn't put his hands up, first of all, okay? Telling me to put my hands up on the ride. You didn't put your hands up. Halfway through the ride, I put my hands up and it covered his face. That's just karma. But what's next?
Alright, so how was Dollywood on a whole, would you say?
Dollywood on a whole? Wow.
Mostly.
I can't sum that up in a food review though, like, or like a mukbang. Like, the park's just absolutely amazing. Oh, do I want to say this in the mukbang, or do I want to save it for a separate video?
If you haven't been to the park, treat yourself and go to the park.
Yes. So we're only here, unfortunately, for one day because we're heading to Carowinds tomorrow for Copperhead Strike. But I wish I had booked a week here. Like, you know, we got a VIP experience, so we were very fortunate. And we definitely got that southern kind of treatment. What do they call that? The
Southern hospitality?
Southern hospitality. And wow, I will never look at a theme park the same way. I think all theme parks have a lesson to learn from Dollywood, and I think a lot of these regional theme parks need to be sending their representatives to Dollywood for lessons on how to operate. The theming is out of this world. Again, I wish I had more time. I wish I could show you guys. We have a lot of Canadians as our audience, and I really want to showcase Dollywood in the best light I can, because again, this has become my favorite theme park, period. Love it. What's next?
Alright, so what would be your advice for small channels?
My advice for small channels. This is a great question. I still consider myself small. I'm very fortunate to have crossed the 10,000 line. We seem to be rapidly growing again. Oh, my advice. I'm like thinking back to my original days. I would say you need to post daily. So we're trying the poutine. You need to post a video every day to grow your channel. You just disrespected Canada right there. For those of you that didn't see it, he just dropped a poutine fry on the table, and
Oh no.
that's serious enough to start a war.
Oh great.
Like, again, back to the question. Post daily. You want to be engaging. I have a lot of lessons I need to learn myself. You need a lot of self-promo, but you don't want to self-promote in a way that it seems like you're desperate. You know, you want to engage with your audience. One of my biggest promises, and my team can vouch for this, is my promise was, in my Discord especially, is no matter how big you get on YouTube, you can't disconnect from your audience. You can't act like you're better than your audience. You are a viewer. You are the reason the channel is growing. You're the reason I'm even here at Dollywood, a park that I didn't think I would get to for years to come. So you guys are everything to me, and if I'm ever at a theme park and you're there, you are more than welcome to come hang out for as long as you want, even if I'm filming. Feel free to reach out to me. My team and I will try and respond to anything you guys have. You're extremely important to me, and I think you guys and anyone else who wants to start a YouTube channel needs to take that seriously as well. Don't ever act or come across like your opinion's better than anyone, or you're better than anyone. We're all equal. I just was very fortunate to start reporting on Yukon Striker and move on to other things. It's starting to rain. We got to start wrapping this up, I guess. So I'm gonna try this poutine and I'm gonna judge it because I'm Canadian. And if you make poutine, it better be good. purposely making it look like I'm about to give it a bad review. Wow. Okay. So poutine doesn't really have much flavor, so there's not much to talk about in terms of flavor profile, but it tastes like a classic Canadian poutine that's really good. This is the first theme park I've been to that's outside of Canada that's been able to pull off a poutine. I even remember I was watching a YouTube channel that does food reviews, and they made a poutine, and the poutine sauce was, this is what I wanted to talk about, the poutine sauce was like gray. It was almost like they used like chicken gravy or something. You can tell this is the beef gravy that you're supposed to use on a poutine. Loved it. Definitely really good. What do you think, Apex? Is this your first time having poutine?
This is the first time I've ever had poutine. It's pretty good. It's pretty different. It's good.
There's like a lot of Canadians right now staring at you.
Don't judge me.
I'll give you his address in the comments section below.
Right.
I'm kidding. So last but not least, oh no, we have two more things. Wow, we have the nachos. Let's try this. I'm not a big fan of nachos, I'm gonna be honest.
Neither am I. It's okay.
Okay.
Just gonna nacho without anything on it.
I'm getting the speed up. It's raining, Brendan. Wow. You guys need to start eating that now because it's delicious. And I hate nachos. So much flavor. That's packed with flavor. Oh my God.
That's the first nacho I've ever tried that I've actually liked. Like, for real. That's actually really good.
Anthony, what is that sauce?
It's spicy made, I think.
Whatever that is really good.
It's bulgogi sauce.
Beefalogi nachos. These unique nachos feature marinated skirt steak strips in a traditional spicy and sweet South Korean sauce served on crispy fried wonton chips. The nachos are drizzled with a sweet chili glaze and topped with scallions. Wow. Gordon Ramsay, where are you at? Okay, that might be my favorite thing so far. Wow. Guys, eat!
That surprised me.
Cinnamon bread. They're pointing at the cinnamon bread, like, get that out now. We had a knife. It was a knife. Okay. All right. Everyone, this was the most popular thing. I had the question. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We'll get that.
When you have a production team and they're like making signals behind the camera. Oh my goodness. Okay, so very easy to cut. That's a good sign. Again, I'm no food expert. You're not going to get any expert advice or opinions about this food from me. If you're here to get expert opinions or advice on food, Gordon Ramsay's channel is probably linked below. I'm kidding. Do you have a fork that you used? Okay.
I have a fork that I used.
We have some. Don't worry. Those are for you guys. All right, so I'm gonna take one of my old forks because I cut the pieces already. You can do the same. Got my piece of cinnamon bread here. I'm beyond excited. It wasn't a fresh piece, and I did hear you have to try a fresh piece, but it smells delicious, and I hope it lives up to the hype, and it looks like I cut myself too big of a piece, so enjoy the ugly view of me shoving this in my mouth.
It's not. This battery just died. We want to keep using this. We can use this one.
By the way, that's really good.
It's really good. One of our batteries just died, by the way.
This one's gone.
Yeah, so just so you know, while you're resetting the camera, that's really good, so we're gonna try it again.
We have the battery back, but I think we're good. We can film on this camera. This camera's been perfect.
Yeah.
This video is not sponsored, but
Wow.
by Apple.
Amazing.
What was your favorite thing so far? The cinnamon bread?
Yeah.
I have to go with the nachos and then cinnamon bread and then the corn dog.
The corn dog was really good.
Yeah, and then the rice and then the poutine. And I'm a Canadian. I just put poutine last. That's crazy. Are there any more questions?
Alright, so next one will be what made you want to do YouTube?
What made me want to do YouTube? That is a question. I'm going to save half of the answer for another video. So a lot of you know that I've been working on myself over the last little bit. Again, I've lost 55 pounds now, and you're going to learn why I became a coaster enthusiast, which is in turn why I started the YouTube channel, and how the YouTube channel and you guys have really saved me. So you're gonna learn that soon. I know I promised it by the end of March. I promise it'll be up. This face reveal alone is huge, by the way. It's been really hard. When we started the day and I was on camera filming, it was really difficult. I wasn't handling it well, but now I feel a little more comfortable, and yeah, things will change. You'll see a lot more of this, and you're gonna see me change as well. So again, I'm on an adventure to losing weight and getting myself back to the old me. But what's next?
And so someone asked, will you do parodies?
Will I do parodies? We tried a parody way back in the day. It's a Steel Vengeance parody, and boy, do I think that flopped. If you haven't seen the video, you have to check it out because it's cringeworthy. So there's so many links I'm promising down below. I'm gonna try and post the link to our Steel Vengeance parody down below. Feel free to go dislike it because it's cringeworthy, and I totally understand. We have a new series that we're working on. It was supposed to launch on April 1st, Everything Wrong with Amusement Insiders. It was supposed to kind of like poke fun at ourselves and introduce this new series we're gonna do where we're kind of like, if any of you know the YouTube series where they go Everything Wrong With or Coaster Sins, that's what we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it Coaster Sins, and it was basically gonna be like mocking coasters around the world. But we're gonna delay that just a bit. We wanna make sure we hit it right because we don't wanna release something that is not going to be popular.
All right, next will be Alrighty. How'd you come up with that?
Alrighty. Okay, so Alrighty started naturally. And then I started seeing comments like, don't ever get rid of the alrighty. And then I became too self-aware, and I'm gonna be honest, like I hate it. I don't hate the alrighty, I hate being self-aware of it, because now it like feels forced, and I'm hoping eventually I can come up with a different intro because alrighty just feels so forced now.
Alright, so this one's gonna go towards your home park. So what do you think is the most underrated ride at Canada's Wonderland?
The most underrated ride? I want to say Yukon Striker right now. I didn't like how all the American YouTubers and American people kind of like really didn't give it the spotlight it deserved. Even some YouTube channels were saying, you know, Val Raven would be better, and I just thought that would that's a little far-fetched considering it's an out and back unique design. Yeah, I just wish that but if I was to go with current, Vortex is definitely the most underrated.
One more question, apple pie or pumpkin pie?
Pumpkin pie.
So do you mind if B&Ms have a slight rattle?
Do I mind if B&Ms have a slight rattle? Behemoth is one of my favorite B&Ms soap right now. It has a rattle, love it. So no, not really. I think there does come a time where the rattle might be unbearable, but doesn't really bother me.
Alright, so nice to be. Why do other B&M dive coasters not feature a vertical loop?
Why do other B&M dive coasters not feature a vertical loop? So from what I know about Yukon Striker was essentially designed by Canada's Wonderland. So they had specific requests that they wanted out of the dive coaster, and one of those was to be extremely unique. The other was to pay homage to Skyrider, thus the vertical loop. And I don't think any other theme park company out there was looking to pay homage to a vertical loop from a previous coaster. So that's probably why you see it on Yukon Striker.
So next will be, which Cedar Fair park do you think will get an RMC in this?
I love the person screaming in the background. RMC next. It's not going to be Canada's Wonderland. So the next would probably be...
There's a cinnamon bread.
Oof.
I don't see any of them getting any of them like in the next few years.
I'm gonna go with Carowinds, and that's a wild guess, just because of Hurler, and I don't think we're gonna see an RMC for a couple years. So to put that into perspective, I'm not saying Carowinds is getting an RMC next year, but I think Hurler is eventually gonna need to be RMC'd. I don't know too much about, again, when it comes to other Cedar Fair parks, not my specialty. I'm learning still, and I just know business, and that's how I base my decisions.
Okay, what's your favorite Canada's Wonderland flat ride?
Favorite Canada's Wonderland flat ride? Lumberjack. I wish it was an S&S Scream and Swing, but we don't have one of those.
Do you actually think that Canada's Wonderland is better than Cedar Point?
Do I think Canada's Wonderland is better than Cedar Point? No? Did I say that somewhere? Yeah, no, definitely not.
Do you think they could fit something in between Vortex and Yukon Strikers first version? So Amusement?
Vortex and no.
Do you have a total of how many roller coasters have you ridden?
I'm not a, like, ooh, I almost swore. I don't count my credits is the proper way to word it. So no, I'm never going to be that person that counts my credits and keeps track of coasters I ride. I'm a person that's all about theming, the experience. I'm going to review things and all that, but I'm not out here to compete with other people. And again, my opinion isn't final, so I'm never going to be that person that forces my opinion down your throat or counts my credits and rubs it in other people's faces.
So what is your number one bucket list coaster in Germany?
Number one bucket list coaster in Germany.
Okay, no one
Retweet.
Toronto, you would answer.
I don't know what coasters are in Germany.
Toronto, Black Mamba, Fantasia Land. Maybe.
Oh, okay.
Fantasia Land and Europa would be the two.
So my number, it's definitely gonna be Fly at Fantasia Land when it opens, or Toronto right now, to be honest.
So then, going off of that, what's your number one coaster so far?
My number one coaster so far, I'm at Dollywood right now, and it's really like messing with my head. Cedar Point was my favorite park currently, and I'm gonna lose a lot of fans from saying this, but Dollywood is really blowing me away. So we're gonna have to see. Right now, it's Steel Vengeance as my number one. Cedar Point is my number one, but Universal is above Cedar Point as a total package. But when it comes to regional theme parks, Cedar Point's number one.
All right, so last question. So what type of B&M do you think will come to Cedar Fair next?
What type of B&M do I think will come to Cedar Fair next? It's going to be either Canada's Wonderland. Well, it's going to be Kings Island, then it's going to be Canada's Wonderland. It could be CGA. It's going to be one of those three parks that get a B&M next.
All right.
That's it?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so this was our first mukbang at a theme park. There'll be much more. Again, the rain was coming in. We had to rush, so we would have had more food. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Again, if you have any questions, submit them on our Instagram Messenger, and we'll try and answer them in videos moving forward. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. We're now gonna go eat. My team's probably really mad at me. Yeah, awesome. Have a good one. Bye.